In Illinois, we're no different than other large states with large urban population centers. These centers tend to attract a majority of the practicing attorneys. In Illinois, of our 102 counties, we have 13 counties with 5 or fewer practicing attorneys.
Everybody deserves the best representation they can get. And I think it's important that people have lawyers in their community who understand their backgrounds, the setting, and I think people feel more comfortable if they have a lawyer that's in their area, whether it's in their hometown or maybe in a neighboring community.
The biggest problem is forming a bridge between an existing practitioner who someday would like to retire or needs help, feels overwhelmed, and bringing in the right prospective apprentice, law student, law clerk to match those parties up.
The goal of the Rural Practice Initiative is to place attorneys or soon to be graduating law students into rural communities where they can get a start on their legal careers and become successful.
You can bring attorneys in when they're young or they're right out of law school, and they can gain experience in your community.
We are offering a clearinghouse to give young lawyers the inside track on finding jobs in rural places in the state where they might not otherwise look. And that will expand their job opportunities and give them a tailor-made opportunity to walk into where they will be able to develop rural practice, have connections to the legal community, and potentially inherit an established practice.
I think a rural practitioner could benefit in several ways from hiring someone for this program. If they're hiring a law student, they have a chance to evaluate whether this person is someone who might want to come permanently to their firm and who might discover that that's the thing for them. If they're hiring an associate, they may be thinking that that associate could one day take over their practice.
I look at this as part of succession planning. We know in a number of the counties in the state of Illinois, we have an aging lawyer population. A number of these practicing attorneys have good, viable practices. They have a built-in client base. What they're looking for are young attorneys that are willing to settle in that rural community and eventually take over their practices and continue to provide quality legal representation to that client base.
I turn away work. That's the reality. And I need somebody. And I know I'm not the only rural and small practitioner who's in that position.
A law student is somebody who is interested in maybe learning several different things, then small town practice is really more likely to give you that opportunity, because you may be doing estate planning, you may be going to court, maybe you represent a local municipality and you're doing ordinance cases, or maybe you represent a local board and you're doing nonprofit law or corporate law, or those kinds of things from that standpoint.
If you want to be in court, you want to advocate for clients in a personal and direct way, there is, as far as I know, no better way to do that than being a small town practitioner. You are intimately involved in the details of people's lives and the issues that are important to them.
I had the opportunity to immediately get into court, which is what I wanted to do. Whereas, I think in a lot of larger firms, you start off spending several years doing discovery and things like that, which, is not really the most exciting part of litigation. So when you live in a smaller town or rural area, a lot of times you have the opportunity to just immediately start seeing clients, immediately start going to court.
I can have a real estate closing at 9 o'clock in the morning, a hearing on a probate case later on that morning, and approve up on a divorce that afternoon. And that's just one day, and that's not untypical.
Your reputation in a small town, it's everything. So if you can attach your name to somebody with a good reputation, basically it's like, well, they trust you. So your clients are going to trust you, or at least give you the benefit of the doubt.
So once you develop that reputation, you really earn that reputation pretty quickly. you'll find that other attorneys that you have, had cases against, representing clients on the opposite side of each other, will start referring cases to you that they can't take. The benefits of a good reputation: one, you feel good, you're treated well by your peers in the legal community, you're treated well by judges. But two, you start to get a personal financial benefit when people start referring clients to you.
It's great practicing in a rural area. You can cover as many counties as you want. You can work on the types of cases that you want to work on, and ultimately you're in control to shape that.
Sometimes when you go to a large urban area, you get lost in the crowd. You wind up being that little fish in the big ocean. When you go into a smaller rural community, everybody knows your name. It's kind of like the old TV show Cheers, right? You walk in, everybody knows your name. That's how it is in a rural community. You get involved in the local organizations and everybody will get to know you, and you'll achieve your standing in the community very quickly. And it's very interesting in a lot of these smaller rural communities, once you've established a quality rural practice, you'll have other opportunities open up to you. For example, opportunities perhaps if you have an interest in becoming a state's attorney or a public defender or even an associate or circuit judge. Many of these rural communities draw from the local attorney population. And if you have an interest in getting involved in any of those kinds of government positions, starting out in a rural community as a practicing attorney is an excellent stepping stone to those ultimate goals.
I think law students who come into the program and have the opportunity to spend a summer in a rural community may find that there is a lot to like about that practice, about the kinds of people they serve, about their opportunities to be in court, about being part of a rural community. These are things they may have never experienced before, and we want to give them the opportunity to experience it.